Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. Well, we had some CPI data which was less than projected or forecasted, and less than was last quarter or last time they had it, which I guess is bearish. I don't really follow what these things mean, if I'm being brutally honest, but it looked like we were having some fatigue possibilities inbound anyway. We didn't really recover this wick yet, so any move didn't look to be sustained for me, so I wasn't really interested in the long personally. I was having more fun scalping NASDAQ futures, but as it stands right now, we are coming beneath the 618. We have yet to make our way beneath it, and we are consolidating beneath the 31,000 level and 30,270 level of these daily time frame support structures that are quite old. So we're just going sideways for now. How many days is it? Basically 20 days now and counting. So interesting to note. Let's go to the 12-hour time frame. 12-hour is closing in 7 hours with the daily candle close. So we'll see how this candle closes. Does it close bearish or become a buyback wick to the upside? Nothing is known till it's set in stone. So let's go into the liquidity of high block capital. What is high block? Well, it's when people lock their liquidity in the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker, and we get to see where those crispy characters lie, like a TV drama, and we get to see which characters got burnt to a crisp today. So here we are in the 1 minute time frame. So during the CPI data, let's just zoom in and see what happened here. So the CPI came out, it pinged in all these immediately 222 million in longs and 179 million in shorts, which immediately brought an imbalance to long liquidity. So they spiked it around a little bit and they came right for that 100x pool of the 222 million in longs.
Fatality.
Yes, and they got burnt to a crisp, and then they came back into these other guys hoping to scoop a bottom here, and the shorts were a little bit scared still, and so they came back into these guys, spawned some divergence off them, came into the short 100xers, and let's go see what else is going on here. So then they came back into the short 100xers, and then, hey,
I'm trying to talk here, okay? I'm trying to talk here.
So it came back into the 100xers over here, the 82 million in shorts, and the 200 million of shorts opening in this furious way as the red candle opens. You want to short over here, not over here, ideally speaking. But human psychology would dictate people see this as weakness, so they short into weakness and buy into strength, which is the exact opposite idea. You buy at a discount and sell at premium. Okay, so this 200 million pool just immediately got gobbled up, and once again,
Fatality.
and they came back for that guy, and yeah, then they came back for these pools, and then they fatigued a little bit more and considered to come to the 50x partner in crime down here for the other 222 million, and boom, gobbled him up as well. So as it stands right now, there is a lot of long liquidity down below, stacked with the long liquidity which they have yet to take from back here at 29,937. Coming back down to the 29.8 region would be ideal, with the 29.815 region, and that also coincides with the levels that we have on our Binance chart. So we have the 29.2 and 28.5 regions as potential zones, and then other bounce points here at the 29,874. We talked about on the morning stream that the bullish projection would need to see some candles with conviction above the 30,724 region. We did not see conviction. We did not even make it above these resistance levels, and we got rejected off the 706 trapdoor idea for the second time. So this 236 bullish level has yet to be made. As I said before, and I'll say it again, to have a sustainable move up into these regions, you need to see a sweep of the lows. So we are looking for this low idea, and this is the A, B. See ya to the downside. So hopefully this comes with a passion to this region. I'd like to see it. I'll be here for it, and I'll be looking for the divergence off the carcasses of the dead longs for a divergence play of a swing trade to the upside. No FOMO here on these guys. Sure, you could be taking this play too, scalping, but it's like watching paint dry sometimes. When I did the NASDAQ, and you can go into these 5-minute time frames and just catch like massive plays like this, and it's consistent. It's you know, I really would wish Bitcoin was a little bit more consistent. Sometimes it's just this gobbledygook and hard to read sometimes. So if we look at the which is why we try to bring it to you with these clear levels, needs to get, when it starts to go below this 236 here at 30,619, then this is candles closing beneath this is setting you up for the short idea into the long liquidity down below. Alright, time to turn on oscillators and not waste a single second of your time. So here we go. Oscillators and heads up display on. Link in the description for more. Also, if you're looking to get funded, the coupon codes are there. It's relatively cheap. You can toggle these displays, see what it looks like, read about each component, and let's take a look. So nothing is a guarantee, so just because we went beneath this level doesn't mean anything. We did close a candle above this level, but promptly came back down beneath it. So these hourly candles closing above and beneath this zone need to remain true. So we have 13 minutes for this candle to close. We'll stay with you for that close to see how it closes for you. We do have some levels to attain down below. We ascertained that on the 1 minute. We didn't go to the higher time frame, so let's do that now. We'll go expand our vision to the higher time frame now of the external liquidity pools. 7-day. 7-day has more shorts up here at 31.3 and above. Do we come down and sweep these 29K regions first? In the 7-day, you have more shorts pinged in up here at the 31.35 region, interestingly enough. So is it a Thursday midweek reversal to the downside with the Friday run for profit to the upside? That could be the play. Let's go into the monthly time frame and see where the pools lie in weight. So as it stands right now, you got a fair amount at 30,300, near 3 billion on the monthly time frame, 3 billion on 30,002, 3 billion 30,001, 3 billion 30,000 even, 2 billion, and basically you're stacked in the 15 billion range in this 29.4 region now. Double digits, about $60 billion down here in the 29.1 region. You do have 23 billion up at the 31.7 that they left on the table from back here. So they left this 19 billion on after spawning some divergence off this guy. And as it stands on the monthly time frame, you are more imbalanced to the downside, so getting a retrace into this liquidity is what we are wanting to see sooner than later. All right, and if we go to the 3-month time frame, you got that imbalance getting mighty red, yellow hot down below at the 24.4 region, and at 6-month time frame you also have that imbalance to the downside based on the liquidity down below. So even if you do come down to this region, there's no guarantee you'll bounce back up here again. It could be pinging long liquidity and faking them out the entire way down. We never know where it leads. The imbalance is to the downside on everything but the 2-year. When you look at the 2-year, you see this 450 billion plus up at 33.2, 172 billion, 157 billion, and 165 billion in these respective regions, just a hop, skip, and a jump away, which is why I think if it came down to the 29.2 and got this $68 billion down here, or the 42 billion at 28.8, it could basically make a stab up into this liquidity, one last hurrah, and then maybe come down into these pools, at least take out some of the higher time frame for a fake out breakout, or maybe go higher. The narrative structure does suggest in the liquidity that you could go all the way up to 34K. Beyond that, it starts to taper, but still has liquidity that could be building the entire time up to 36K and beyond. So we could make this range break play at some point, and these positions down below could be market makers, because they did leave that 150 billion intact to build up to 223 billion here, so there's no guarantee they come back for it, although we have seen that occur before with January 18th, when they came back to this red hot, this yellow hot region of the 153 billion dollars. They came back with the fury, so they could come back with the fury to this side as well. You also have this 15K character, 200 billion down there as well, so they could give it back at some point if they come up here and fake out that we broke the range and then start retracing into the halving. Just an idea to put on the back burner of thought. So if we go into the monthly, I like to look at the monthly here. The monthly shows the pools in a nice double-digit manner, and thinking about the structure of coming lower, we previously meandered around and played with people's perceptions to only grab a couple $1 billion here, when they could just make an attack to one of these sides, but they're pinging in and getting people's conviction locked and loaded to one side, and then they're gonna take them for a ride. So let's go into the momentum and see how it's shifting. So we previously talked about coming down below. It did not happen from the Asian session. We basically went sideways and ranged up into the CPI data play, and then basically came back to equilibrium here as if nothing happened. So let's make our descent through the time frame, shall we? Let's start with the daily. So as it stands right now, the daily time frame closes in 7 hours, and if it closes beneath this 236, you can expect retraces down into these regions. If it closes up above these levels, then you have this little bit of happiness up here to potentially look forward to. As it stands right now, we have not reclaimed the baselines. The suppression idea is still in effect, and if you close beneath this baseline idea, the 22 hour closes one of the two candles in 5 hours, and we're currently at this thinning cloud. And you have a cross up in effect. These are trying to hold off the dump. This is a bullish signal on these Momentum Master A idea, and you're starting to see the money flow coming back to the RSI here and getting overbought. So getting overbought without really having gone so far in a price action way. We've gone up, but we came back down, so this could be suggesting that a fatigue could come in off the stochastic RSI on the 22. We do have the last little bit of happiness that could be coming in the last 5 hours. However, the 1 minute time frame suggests you do retrace into some of this liquidity. We do have some 100xers up here. We have small little pools of 50x here and there, but more juicy is 123 million down at 30,322 that they could come back into. thicker bands of noodles down here on the right side suggest it comes down. There's more broth and soup up here, so there's less interest in my mind to come up to this and more interest to come down to here at this time. All right, so yeah, that's the 22-hour time frame. Let's go into the 12-hour. The 12-hour time frame is getting a little bit more overbought here. You still have a little bit more potential to keep going if this candle does manage to get bought back and turn into a wick above the 236. We were talking about earlier that the flirtation of the cross up had you at hello. If you just take these cross up events at base value, you could basically have taken this play up 2% just playing the 12-hour. With how boring Bitcoin is, I've been looking at the 12-hour time frame because I can't stand the dry paint effect. But yeah, if you're seeing this cloud on the 12-hour, it is thinning. Does this cloud curve? This is the thing we want to see. We're going to zoom up here. Is this cloud going to thin and then come back up here, or is it going to dump down in a manner that we were seeing? As it stands right now, you're getting more selling pressure, and this is possibly breaking down at the cloud, and then this could be a fake out cross down event on the 12-hour time frame. The 12-hour coming down here with the money flow getting above the RSI. It tends to do that when it gets above, and so are we seeing that now? Previously we saw the disparity between the money flow and the RSI get bought back up, and now we're seeing the opposite. Does this Williams start to come down for that green oversold idea that we like to see? It hasn't been the optimal entries because they don't give us the exact oversold ideas like they did back here, where it's nice and bearish and green entry levels with double bottoms to look at. It's been kind of consolidating and guessing, a lot of guessing, a lot of what ifs. So yeah, hopefully we see a plan with vigor, which suggests that a reversal may be in. So we're getting the 6-hour time frame with a stopping volume candle. Has yet to turn into a vector, but that could change in the next hour and 3 minutes. So where does the 6-hour candle close? Does it close beneath the 236 or not? The only one we got to close above the 236 was with this passion, which was not much. There was no conviction to break the super trend to the downside. So we have this bearish super trend in effect on the 6-hour time frame. If this becomes a bearish engulfing of all these candles, then we have ourselves a bearish sentiment tone similar to this that could be playing out. Let's go look at see what type of liquidity it's gobbling up right now. Shout out to everyone here. What's up, 𝗏𝗲𝗶𝗶? Thank you for stopping in. So they haven't reached into the cookie jar just yet. If they do, they will come into these guys here. The $123 million character at 30,322 is next on the menu, and their partners in crime over to the left. This guy here, 99 million at 30,269, getting that vector rejection. 6-hour time frame is definitely overbought. Money flow is above the RSI. We talked about that during the Asian session, so this needs to come down. Despite the cross-up events, I am rooting against the cross-up here. Super trend is bearish, which is what coincides with this play to the downside here. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, we start to see the shift in the cloud here as we're going up. Interesting to note, we do have a Hail Mary saving grace play that could occur off the cloud here if it starts to kiss the cloud and continue. The 4-hour cloud has been doing a lot of juking as of late. You got purple and blue and purple again, so I don't trust the 4-hour cloud as much as I used to. in the past, in times past. There are moments where it is easy. Like we went over that earlier today, where this curvature preempts the move with a nice shift that continues, and we didn't come back to kiss it at all, and we were gone. So is this one of those easy shifts to the upside? If we look at the oscillators, it is not in a situation that I like to long. It's ambiguously going up and down and not getting to that oversold region. Essentially, you want to wait for a liquidity grab, like an awesome liquidation event is where you start to pick out the reversal. And in these little consolidating times, it's basically trying to ping people to enter so it can steal their liquidity. So you wait for it to steal someone's liquidity, and then that's where you enter a nice long and get alerted to a nice long. We also had a nuke flash earlier today. It didn't lock in for me to save it, but as it was coming up here, we got a nuke flash. I think it was around 4 p.m. my time. We had a nuke flash on the NASDAQ, which played out during trading session. If we look at the hourly time frame, the hourly is resetting here. The money flow is coming beneath the RSI. Do you have, oh, it looks like we closed out the hourly. So we did close out a second hourly candle in beneath this 236. We haven't managed to really do that with the upside, so there is more of a conviction to the downside here than there was with all this slow moving up here. So we could see a more sustainable move to the downside than we did with this meandering up here. Hourly is getting oversold. However, the Williams still could come down more, so you could see the suppression in the last hurrah of that reset of the hourly time frame. If you look at the 15-minute, it starts to get more ambiguous as price action was attempting to hold that 236. This is why our levels are so interesting, because they do have reactions at them. You see how they try to hold that 236 and then can't and drop beneath it. They're like psychological high and low levels for short and long ideas. If you get above this, you go higher. If you get below this, you go lower. So if it looks like we're heading into the lower regions, and London close is in effect. So are we going to see a repricing to the downside now into the Asian session of midweek reversal Thursday? Yeah. If we look at the 15-minute, we are resetting the 5 and the 15, and the hourly is getting to that region. We're getting the 3 time frames oversold with the symbol here on the stochastic array. What is the stochastic array? Well, it's a never before seen formula which simultaneously monitors more than 7 time frames of information. So you get these alerts to your phone even if you're not watching the live. So you'd be getting these things, alert log like this. 2 time frames oversold, 5-minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour stochastic, and they'll tell you all of these levels. And if it's at a point of interest you're at, then you can make your decision based around that criteria. I think it could go lower based on the point of interest, but it'll let me know in the nighttime if it comes to this level. Sorry, it's 2 a.m. my time, so I'm a little bit burnt out. I had a nice trading session today with the NASDAQ futures. Shout out to everyone who does that in the Momentum Master Discord. Good luck to all of you. Yeah. Silver bullet is coming in an hour. So the 5-minute is trying to see a bounce here of some kind. You got 2 time frames oversold, so you could see another, if you're looking for like a scalp idea. I don't really scalp Bitcoin, but you could come up to this region here, you know, and then this is how you like chart out your bottoms and stuff. So you could be looking at basically this cross-up event and seeing what it gives you, coming back to fair value gaps, and then seeing what type of liquidity it does. It did take the large amount of liquidity from the downside, so coming back in to just take some of this fair value gap liquidity, an easy $46 million it could come back to here. and then get rejected and possibly go lower. But the hourly time frame is oversold as well. But this baseline crossing down doesn't show signs of abating, so you could get rejected off of that and continue lower. And this is why we like to coincide time frames, because when you get these crossing up on higher time frames like the hourly, with the baselines coming beneath the price and the candles closing above the baselines, and they cross like that, then you set yourself up for some nice plays. As it stands right now, it's not in that position, so I'm not interested in the play personally. No, come back. There we go. So as it stands right now, the 4 hour and the 6 hour could be taking over for the 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁𝗁, and how far this 4 hour is now crossing down in 2 hours and 55 minutes. If it closes even where it's at right now, if it stays here right now, it will confirm this as a cross down event. And the last time we had a cross down event, well, it played out a little bit with a fury here too, with a fury. Cross up with the fury. So these cross down and cross up events on the baselines are not to be ignored. So these are your first signs of reversal on Momentum Master. So if you see this cross down event, then you could be seeing some more downside to these regions. So we'll be looking for that in the next 2 hours and 54 minutes. We see a little bit more conviction and holding beneath this 236 level. And then if this candle closes bearish, it will give us the sign that it is real. Thursday midweek reversal is around the corner. What does that mean? If Sunday, Monday, false move Monday took us up and back down, and then Tuesday, Wednesday took us up in this range, Thursday could be the midweek reversal down to here. Run for profit could be taking all of this on both sides. So Friday, run for profit Friday is 2 days from now as well. But this is how you look for a scalp. So you could get like a 5-minute bounce, right? Like this could cascade to the 6-minute. And then you get up to this cloud and get rejected and continue lower. So you could basically like take this up, get the fatigue of the 5-minute bounce or whatever, which scares out some of the shorts and reclaims this fair value gap over here. And yeah, then continues lower. And then this is how you would scalp on NASDAQ futures. You do this really quick, and then you can get a smooth like 10 points and you're out. So we might do some setups in the future as we get in the zone with live trading it. Otherwise, we're going to be trading and then streaming thereafter, like we are right now. Yeah. We're just doing a quick update for BTC. We did do a thorough analysis earlier today. So this rejection off the cloud probably could see us continue lower after the fatigue of the 5-minute kicks in. 5-minute is getting some bullish divergence that's starting to play out here. So our 6-minute rather, we're on the 6-minute, you're getting some bullish divergence which is starting to play out in a scalp fashion. Get the double bottom of the Williams. So this is basically what you want to see on all time frames, but as you start to go to the higher time frames, you see this kind of bearish overtone wanting to come lower, and this not being in oversold status, so I'm not interested in longing this. And you're getting the cross down event with the baselines above the price, so it's just showing me the 4 hour is going to dump on you. So we'll see how the 4 hour plays out alongside the 6. The 6 is closing in an hour, 52 minutes for the 6 hour to close. Does it close beneath this baseline, or does it try to bounce off a support of this baseline and cloud? It is currently just a stopping volume candle. It has not turned into a vector just yet, but yeah. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, folks. Interesting sideways kind of upwards action. Hopefully you didn't get chopped up too much. Once again, if you're interested in learning how to do the futures trading, Links are in the description on how to get funded and get an eval. I just passed 5 accounts and linked those up and was trading 5 live accounts at once today. That was pretty interesting. So yeah, and I was going over fib levels with somebody earlier today, and it looks like we're getting a reaction off the golden pocket. So it trades really clean. We had this reaction off the 786, reaction off the 618, and now we're coming back down. And then we had this double top play. We took this B wave off of a fair value gap recovery, boom, smooth gains had. So while Bitcoin's going sideways in this weird algorithmic chop, which makes no sense a lot of the time, some things over here make a little bit more sense to me right now. So I've been having fun with this right now. So if you're interested in diversifying, as KuCoin disallows Americans to use the crypto, you can move into the NASDAQ futures. It's the same concept, and you get into some of the sites. You got 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁𝗏 and Apex Trader Funding. The links are in the description. We have our login information. I'm not going to log in for you, but you can basically read about it. The 50K accounts are fairly the best bang for your buck. You only pay like $18 for a eval, and if you pass, you can get $50,000 to trade with and potentially take it to payout and get paid. So this is getting a reaction off the 618 and could continue lower. I'm not going to stay up for this time, but there's another good trading window coming soon. This is also a potential 618 in here that it could come down into if it's bullish. And that's NASDAQ. Fun move in motion. So it looks like BTC is doing some fake out liquidity traps to the downside. Like I said, I'm not interested in longs. I'm just trying to show you how the 5-minute scalp could play out if there wasn't bearish overtones of the 4-hour and the 6-hour and the 12-hour and the 22-hour like working against us. But this is where you start to see your takeoff platform begin. All right, ladies and gents, we're expecting more downside for BTC because they broke their 236 entry idea. And coming down to this pool is where we want to see it for midweek reverse Thursday. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day. And we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff. And we will catch you on the flip side. Peace.